Okay, so I don't think it's any secret by now that I am obsessed with the technology industry, specifically the AI machine learning side of it. Like your girl can talk about it all day. So in this video, I'm going to give you 3 skills that I learned that helped me break into the tech industry. And the best part, you don't need a degree. I would suggest that you get a couple of certificates. I would suggest that you do some self-paced learning. If you want to go ahead and book a coaching session with me, I will be more than happy to help you. But with that being said, let's jump into the 3 highly profitable skills that you want to start learning on your own. Number 1 is prompt engineering. Now, you probably already do prompt engineering, but you didn't know that it has such a fancy title, right? Prompt engineering is literally knowing how to speak the language to the machine learning algorithm. Let me break that down. So think about when you go on ChatGPT, right? When you write a sentence, you're writing a sentence to get a certain outcome. That is a prompt. You're giving the machine learning algorithm a prompt, right? Saying, hey, tell me what today's weather is. Tell me what 2 plus 2 is. Tell me how to train my dog. Tell me how to communicate to my spouse better. That is a prompt. Now, what you need to I wouldn't say master. That's the number. That's something else. You can never master these skills because AI will always be evolving. So, with that being said, when you are learning prompt engineering, you need to learn how to speak to the specific machine, the algorithm that you're using. So that's the number 1 skill that you want to look into. Start reading some books, start reading some articles, start practicing, start taking some certificate classes online, and start learning prompt engineering so that when you go to these companies, you can say, yeah, I can speak that language. I can speak to that machine. And the thing is, a lot of algorithms, they speak multiple different languages like people. Right? So it's really important that you take time to learn prompt engineering. Now, the next one is the one that I get paid the most for. That is workflow integration. What do I mean? This is what I mean. I love this topic. I love it, love it, love it. Workflow integration is literally training the business, the employees, the owner on how to integrate the new softwares, the new updates to the algorithm. Like, for example, Copilot in Microsoft on Azure. They just made a brand new update. I had to go and train an accounting company on how to actually use their new software. That's the second one that you need to learn. You need to learn how to actually integrate the new AI algorithms and softwares and show businesses how to integrate it into its actual day-to-day business. I mean, and when I say business, it could be a creator. I'm pretty sure we know a lot of OF creators that use AI. A lot of it doesn't have to be a big old company. For me personally, I like dealing with big companies. My company has a couple of government contracts that we're gonna have to talk about because with the government shutting down and everything. But anyway, that is the second skill that you need to start learning is, okay, what AI integrations are there? How do they help businesses? How can I now present this skill to businesses? Hey y'all, so I am back. I actually had to stop because my Uber had arrived and I still hadn't even ate my food. So just a little pivot really quick as to what I'm doing and where I'm at. I am currently in Charlotte, North Carolina. I am doing a training for a company out here. I am in a hotel room. So I'm currently in a hotel room and it's a little after 8:34. It's actually 8:34 exactly. So one of the benefits to my career, which honestly I love, is I get to travel. I get to go to different cities, different states, and I get to do training. One thing I want to tell you, a lot of people, the way people have discovered me is through word of mouth. That was how I got discovered. I was lucky enough to be working for an accounting firm that had really big clients, and that was growing very well thanks to, honestly, I would say my marketing and their amazing accounting skills, because I'm not in accounting. I can lead them to the water, but I can't make them drink. And so because of that, when I decided to start branching out and doing my own thing, they gave me great recommendations and stuff like that. So they are really a catalyst that helped my company, my small little company, grow, because before I really stepped out on my own, I started running my AI company through them. And they were giving me clients, and so a lot of my business comes from word of mouth. Some of it comes from videos that I have done, for other training companies, but a lot of it, I would say honestly, 90% of it right now comes from word of mouth. So if you are wondering how to market yourself, word of mouth is very, very important in this industry. Being able to articulate yourself correctly and being able to leave really, really great impressions on companies, and also just having a passion about what you do, so that when you are training these companies, when you are talking to these owners, they can see how serious you are. And I honestly love AI, and I can talk about it all day. But anyway, that's not why you're here. So the very third thing that you need to learn is the difference between narrow AI and general AI. Now, we are in a very advanced narrow AI era, right? So narrow AI, think of Spotify. Spotify can only play music. I think it can play podcasts. I'm not a Spotify girl, to be very honest with you. Think of Pandora. Pandora can only do like music and podcasts. Think of Google Maps, right? It was only created to help you get to your location. So to optimize map stuff, right? So narrow AI are platforms, tools that were created to do a very specific thing. Matter of fact, it might have been created to do one or two specific things, and it cannot go outside of that realm at all. That is very narrow, right? And so the reason why I say we are in an advanced narrow era is because we have more technology that is designed to do one or two specific things, but they don't have the structure, and they are not fully developed enough to think like a human. And that is what general AI is. Now, some of the most advanced general AI platforms are Clyde. Google Gemini is coming up real close. I personally feel like the number one is ChatGPT OpenAI. That is honestly the most, to me, advanced narrow AI we got, because it literally is, it's in an open market, right? So it can go on the internet and pull data and information. So it's becoming more and more and more human. Even the way it speaks, have you noticed it'll like stutter and skip and stuff? So what general AI is basically an AI, well, let me stop. It's a machine learning algorithm that has been designed to mimic humans down to the T. Off record, I honestly think we're already there. But if we had to go on paper, which is black and white, no company has said, oh, we're officially a general AI yet. No company has officially came out and said, oh, yep, we're general AI. Although I honestly believe that we're there. Now, I feel like that a lot of you are going to get confused right here, because you're going to think of generative AI, Gen AI, and not general AI. So Gen AI and general AI are two totally different things. I cannot say this word. Generative AI, Gen AI, is what you use to create those AI videos. Like I believe Sora is like Bing AI is those. There was another one. I don't know why it's skipping my head. Hold on. Let me go get the name of it. Midjourney. Midjourney is a very generative AI. ChatGPT, OpenAI is a very generative AI. And the reason why I keep on bringing up ChatGPT, because earlier in the video, I told you how some platforms may know multiple different languages, right? OpenAI is one of them. OpenAI is on Microsoft. They say Elon Musk owns it, which technically he does own it, but honestly, all of his data is literally stored on Microsoft. So it's like if Elon Musk tried to take his company, it's not going to run, because literally Microsoft has this company by the balls. That's why I was like, I'm sorry, I mess with Microsoft just because like I see what they be doing behind the scenes, and I'm just like, y'all are some dirty dogs. Y'all are dirty. But I mean, hey, it's a dog-eat-dog world. So anyway, when it comes to understand the difference between general and generative AI. Generative AI is any AI platform or algorithm that has been trained to create images or videos that you see online. General AI has, people don't want to say it's general AI, but think about ChatGPT. That is honestly the most advanced um, general AI software I think we have. But they will consider that to be very narrow as well, just more advanced narrow. You know how like people, it's like, you know how when, think about this, you have that family member that's dating someone, and that person has been around for like 20 plus years, but they're not married, but y'all consider them married. Like, oh, you know, my aunt has been dating, I don't know, this man named Steve. They never got married. So technically that's not her husband, but y'all consider that y'all uncle because he's been around so long, or like he's so ingrained. That's how it is with ChatGPT. ChatGPT doesn't want to say, oh my God, well, OpenAI doesn't want to say, oh, we're general AI, but they are. They very much are. They just don't want the title on it. I'm like, whatever. Y'all call yourself advanced narrow if you want. But anyway, so knowing the differences between the two is so important because, or the three, because I actually stuck that third one in there, and that was honestly not planned, but I can geek out sometimes when it comes to this stuff. Anyway, so when you are actually, let's say that I am your first client, right? And I make content online, and all of a sudden I'm using Microsoft, right? And I'm like, it used to be able to do all of my Excel's spreadsheets and able to analyze it and all of this other stuff, but it won't do it anymore. And I don't understand why it won't do it. And and I'm calling you because I have this stuff that needs to go to my bank and they needed to be categorized in a certain way. And I don't know math, but I used to use AI and AI used to do it for me. And now AI doesn't do it anymore. And I'm like, what's going on? This stuff has to be turned in by literally 3 o'clock and it's 1:55. You would call me and I'll be like, the reason why is because the platform is now narrow AI. Narrow. They've made it narrow, meaning that they want you to literally pay more so that you can get that feature. Now, that means they're switching it to more general. Now, a lot of companies will make their algorithm, their platform narrow when they want you to use or pay for the more advanced software or the more what they consider advanced features when honestly you were using it the whole time. So being able to explain that to me and be like, all right, listen, Twinkle, this is a now more, the reason why you don't have access to it is because they actually moved that over to another tier. This is now more narrow AI. So it's only trained to do two to three things max. It's not going to do what you want it to do. Now you have to actually pay for this, you know, super enterprise plan in order to get the outcome you want. Being able to look at the actual algorithm, the software, and say, okay, this is narrow, this is general, this is generative AI. And honestly, companies do it all the time when they want you to honestly to buy the more expensive plan. So knowing the difference between those three are so important, because a lot of companies are going to call you freaking out because they don't understand why something that was working on Monday doesn't work on Tuesday, and you need to be able to go in there and tell them exactly why. So I promise you I'm not going to geek out anymore about this. If this video has helped you, please subscribe. If you need help breaking stuff down, feel free to email me below and I'll be more than happy to set up a coaching with you all. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Until then, bye.